Welcome back to the channel, and with all the bad news recently with MSFS 2024 VR, which has left a lot to be desired, and perhaps even the 5090 launch with the smoke and mirrors of frame generation and all that kind of stuff, there is actually some really good news here. And I'm going to talk about TAA mode versus DLSS, and particularly DLSS 4. So I'm really glad to say that the new Nvidia driver has now been released. And I've got to say, folks, I'm now a believer. I really am. In the past, if you see my content on this channel, I've always been a massive fan of TAA mode. And that's simply because it gives you the best clarity, particularly in flight sims such as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. However, there's no doubt about it, 2024 is a pig to run in VR, and it's getting better slowly with the advent of the Sim Update 1, which, well, I haven't shown a video of that, but I have been testing it, and the performance is definitely improved a little bit. We really need DLSS to give us that extra bit of performance boost. Now, the great thing about DLSS 4 is the fact that it is compatible with other series of GPUs. That is the 20, 30 and 40 series RTX cards. Now, don't confuse this with frame generation. I've had so many comments of people saying, I can't wait to try frame generation in VR. Unfortunately, that does not work because we already have that with the advent of motion reprojection, asynchronous space warp, smart smoothing. Basically, the VR implementation is to add fake frames in order to give us a perceived 90 frames per second. We already have that, folks. Unfortunately, frame generation in the way that you understand it with the new Nvidia cards, and of course, with frame generation before as well with the 40 series, that's unfortunately not going to be working in VR. And multi-frame generation, which the 50 series cards are going to have, well, again, that's not going to be compatible with VR. It's not all bad news though, because DLSS 4 is here, and the core feature of DLSS is its super resolution upscaling that lets the sim render at a lower resolution to save GPU power, and then the AI upscales the frames to appear at a higher resolution. You could even go as far actually to super sample your headset and then use DLSS to bring the performance back in line, and that way you actually get a really nice crisp image. Now here's the thing, in the past TAA mode has always been my go-to, especially for G3000 cockpits and glass cockpits. That's a problem with the way Asobo render their glass cockpits using HTML based coding. If there is any way that they can create a mask, then it would have the best of both worlds, because I've got to say here, right now guys, that DLSS 4 using the new transformer model, that is key, is actually sharper than TAA mode when looking at scenery like you're seeing here. And that's also applicable to steam gauges as well. It is actually sharper now than TAA mode. The only thing we have which is a bit of a negative is the glass cockpits are not quite as sharp as TAA mode, but it's a big difference from DLSS 3, especially because we don't get as much ghosting as before either on the airspeed tape. It's still there, admittedly, but it's nowhere near as bad. And even I'm going to say here, right now, that I can sacrifice that little bit less clarity with glass cockpits because the overall image is so much cleaner, so much sharper with DLSS 4 running transformer mode. Now the great thing here is that you don't need a 50 series graphics card. If you have an RTX 20 series right through to the latest 50 series, you are good to go. And I really am so glad. This is the best bit of news we've had all year, because it really feels like we've upgraded to a new GPU just with software. Now, I've yet to try TAA mode with a 5090 graphics card. I can't wait to show you that video very soon because I'm still interested in the raw performance of a top-end GPU. But quite honestly, I think DLSS 4 is a welcome addition even to VR, and the fact it's even sharper when looking at the scenery and also when looking at steam gauges, well, it's an absolute winning combination for me. And I think this is definitely going to be the most exciting advancement in this new technology from Nvidia that we've seen so far. If you'd like to see a setup guide on how I use DLSS 4, then please let me know in the comments below. But the Nvidia driver is now available. Go check it out. And yeah, honestly, I am so excited about it. Thanks so much for watching as always. Please feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon with some brand new VR headsets, some brand new hardware. It's just gonna go crazy. Take care and see you very soon. Bye bye for now.